Welcome to our webinar showcasing you how you can achieve transparency in real estate and finance planning. Presenting to you today are Florian Hammer, Senior Business Analyst at Alstria, and myself, Elias Barry, Senior Consultant at Better Decisions Group. I will be kicking off by giving you a short overview of what we do at BDG, who we are, and followed by a short presentation of Alstria and our project approach. The main part will be a showcase of our amazing asset budget solution that we built over the past year. So, what do we do at BDG? We are a corporate performance management consultancy based in Berlin that focuses on building smart platforms for better decisions. We built those platforms with the idea of enabling full CPM cycle, meaning planning, forecasting, reporting, and analysis across all major departments by providing integrated, connected, and collaborative solutions. And we do that across several different focus industries, such as housing and real estate, and using different softwares, such as Board. If we jump to the next slide, we can take a look at our key figures of the past year. You can see that we had over 240 active projects with over 90 clients, showing that clients tend to stay with us and further our relationship with follow-up projects, which is great. And we have about 70 team members, even more now in 2023, that are spread across 6 different locations across Europe. So if we jump to the next slide, what is our understanding of a smart and integrated planning solution? Well, we focus on softwares like Board that are flexible enough to build individual solutions tailored to your specific needs. In this example, we are showcasing in neon yellow the industry solution, which in this case is real estate and housing. That can be splitted into different modules such as construction planning, valuation, rent planning, and so on, and add to these more general solutions such as, for example, the gray honeycombs with regards to BDG1 people and people planning, and take these and combine these into what is in most cases the final product, which is a finance solution that provides you with the overall output and financial statements that are the most relevant, such as the P&L, the cash flow, and the balance sheet. On top of that, if needed, you can also add to those specific finance modules such as a loan module, profit and cost center planning, and others. And yeah, the great thing is with a solution like Board, as you can see on the next slide, this is not only possible, you're flexible in what you want to do and defining your scope, while still maintaining that integrated aspect. You can also integrate several, when not all, different data sources that are known and common in the market. So as you can see on the right side, we are able to integrate SAP sources, SQL sources, Oracle sources, as well as web sources via standardized APIs such as REST, ODBC, or specific SAP connectors as seen on the right. Handing over to you, Florian.
Yes, thank you, Elias. I'm Florian Hammer. Elias said I'm a business analyst, senior business analyst at Alstria Office REIT AG. We are a big real estate manager with a focus on office in Germany, with our objects around about over 100 assets in Hamburg, Berlin, Düsseldorf, Frankfurt, and Stuttgart. Yeah, our business is to manage the asset in the whole process, from development to the ongoing management, as well as the remodernization of older buildings. And now we will jump to our project approach. when we started a few years ago to find a planning solution, we have the status quo. This we made our budget in Excel. I think this is common for many companies to do the business plan in Excel, with all the strengths of Excel as well as the weaknesses of Excel. We had for any asset a business plan document over 3 years with a massive amount of data with all our existing tenants and the rents, the units we have in our assets. Yeah, and that was the status quo. We need a more flexible time for the planning period. We started with 3 years, but it was for us important to plan for 5 years or longer, to have a long-term plan. So what was our point to get a planning solution? We have a high effort in planning and analysis with the aggregation of the individual business plans to the group budget. On the way to that, we lost a lot of figures from the detailed business plan, and the time we need for the whole consolidation was around about 1 week. In our business planning process, we are very short planned, so we have 1 to 2 weeks for the analysis of the planning rounds. So we have not much time for the most important business-driven analytics, because we waste the time with an aggregation from Excel documents. Furthermore, we like to get a forecast in the same format than the budget. The reason is for the operational team, it's most easier to have an input which have an effect to the forecast as well as to the plan in one time. So he work in board to make both, and that's much easier, and we have a opportunity to work. Furthermore, we have the data from the past, the historical data in Excel. It was not so easy to collect that. Yeah, and in the whole, we have the aim for integrated planning solution. So we don't just want to have the asset budget in board. Our plan is to have the whole organizational planning with cost center planning or HR planning in an integrated model, which leads to a better overview about our planning assumptions and all.
Coming to our project timeline, as you can see, Alstria started the tool selection process in late 2020 and came to a solution and decision in January 2021. And in pretty much short afterwards, we started off with kicking off the project in February. We decided to go with an agile style of implementation that included support from Alstria IT, from real estate operations from Alstria, who mainly defined requirements, business requirements, and the finance department from Alstria. And yeah, followed on with that implementation for about 4 months, from February to June 2021, and went live in July 2021 with our first implementation module, which was the asset budgeting solution that we will also showcase in a bit. And yeah, after go live, real estate operations used the tool and did the first planning round with over 80 users across the 5 different locations. And feedback was very positive afterwards. Was great acceptance of the tool, great user experience, which is why Alstria decided to continue on their journey together with board and BDG to get to an integrated planning solution that incorporates not only the asset budget tool, but then further improved on that solution over the year of 2022, as well as adding other modules such as the cost center planning module, an HR planning module, as well as in the current year, a valuation tool for their assets. And we still have plenty more in our pipeline. But for now, enough of the talking, and let's jump into the tool.
Okay. Yeah. On the start page, you see our dashboard with a whole of information about the asset. We have here a navigation for our teams, for our assets, and for our business plan versions, as well as for the input of the planning sheets. I will start with our lease assumptions. I think you can get a good overview what we have done there. In the first round, we just said we need a planning assumption for leases at all. In the first year, we thought it's not the best way. We have to split it in two parts. The first part is what is now in our asset, and the second part is what is coming next to that. So we have two sheets for the lease assumption planning, and the first sheet you see here, it's an overview about all our contracts with all our tenants which are in the system. For example, here our first tenants have lease contracts to 23 or to the mid of 26, and we have the chance to say, yeah, I think we want to plan an option, or we want to plan a contract extension, a turnover rent, or early termination of the contract. Yeah, if we do that, we go into the sheet for the plan, and we can say, yeah, we have all our units under the contract. For example, here 2 units, 2 retail units. The contract runs to 2022, and we have the chance to set a new timeline for the lease, and the extension of the lease will start here in the beginning of 23 for 13 months. We can have a planned rent and relating costs, and after that we save our assumptions and have the first part of our lease assumption planning in the system with all our current tenants on the unit level. It's I think this is very great to see, yeah, all our units are here and we can plan with them. After that, we will jump to the second part of the lease assumptions. And we have here an overview about our vacancy development with the total area of the object and our systematic vacancy, as well as in green our planned vacancy. This includes our values from our system, as well as the assumptions from the first part. And now we have a rest of the vacancy, which we can plan. Also, there is possible to make a drill down, for example, to see in which type of use we have the vacancy. For example, here it's for retail and for storage areas. We have some inputs here which are green, and that is very important too for us to say here you can do anything what you want, but you cannot change something like the rent per month when the rent per square meter is not the right. So you have calculations for area multiplies with the rent per square meter to get the rent per month, and you are not able to change the result here. After that, I think we have our planning of the revenues finalized. I will jump back to the dashboard shortly to show what we have done here. What we have done here is the orange part of the planning. The green part is our secured income, what is now in our contracts. And here we can see in the orange part what have we done in our lease expectations. On the expenses, on the side of the expensive, we have two parts. One is the planning of measures, and one is the part of the service charges. Like in the asset assumptions, it was very important for us to have a mask to plan, because I think the user experience, or it's better for the user experience to plan with mask and not just on a P&L level. On the P&L level, I will show you in the service charges, but like in the lease assumptions, we have here in mask to plan our building measures. We have here three parts. The first part is our ongoing management, which we have for every asset and for every year. The second part is previous year measures, and that is very, very cool because we have here our measures from our system from the last years. So if we have a measure, for example, for 3 or 4 years, we have it here loaded with actual data like payments or our assignments from our previous systems. And in addition, we have the chance to plan new measures or to change the measures, to delete the measure if in the planning process we say no, we have not enough budget for this measure, we can delete it, or we can say we have an easier way to do that with not so much money, so we can change that. After we have planned what we want to do, we say, and what is the impact for our financial planning. We have here then the timetable for our expenses, which is green if the plan version is unlocked. Now it's locked, so we don't see here the green color. But if we have an unlocked version, the operation colleagues can put the expenses in. On the other side, there is, for example, the service charges, the P&L planning, and this is, I think, the easiest way to plan. We have the account and we have the month, what we expect in the month and the account, and we put it in here. I think that's the easiest way, but it's not practical for our lease assumptions to do that at the revenue level. Yeah, I think this is not very practical. After that, everything consolidates in the P&L, and not just on the asset level, like we see here for the next 5 years. This consolidates as well for the group budget. So if one of our colleagues is doing lease assumption, we will see that in the group budget. Yeah, after he saved the lease assumption. And so we have higher revenues in one of the planning years. Okay, I will just jump shortly back to the dashboard for one short addition. We have here also the chance to say we have here links to other sheets. I think that's very important for the analysis of our reports, because we have a lot of information here, and if you work with that every day, yeah, it's nice to see, and it's clear what is here and what is where. For the guys who work with the model, yeah, every 10 weeks or every 12 weeks, it's much harder to get a good overview, because we have here a lot of data. So we have the chance to say, okay, let's do here the most important things, and if you want to see more, you can go to other reports. For example, here the vacant areas per month for the asset. It's just a link to other planning sheet with a data view in the background, and we see here, okay, this area is vacant in January, or from January. Here in this area we get the vacancy in November 23, and so on. Yeah, I will jump back to the presentation. Yes, the user experience is great, and we are very satisfied with Board. That's why we say we would recommend Board as well for other companies. Why do we recommend Board? Because Board is a high flexible tool. We have the possibility to plan in a P&L level. We have the possibility to plan on a mask level, and to bring it all at the end to the P&L. And I think this is very, very great. The reports can easily be added by us, by the controlling. We don't need any IT guys to create new reports. So it's very, very near to Excel, and to have a good work, and not to be waiting for other parties. And the third thing here is the data sources. We can put it from systems from Microsoft Navision. We can bring it from other Excel sheets to Board, and that's very, very fast. The user experience for the tool is good. We have less errors due to a good validation process in the planning workflow, and a high data security, because it's not possible to manipulate input data. So nobody can say the rent for a contract is €3 higher per square meter. It's not possible, or to change the areas, and leads to a high security in our data. The data also are very actual. We have near real-time data. The detail is very high. We can go to our units, which is the lowest level in our systems. Yeah, and we can say we have previous versions. We can lock the data to be audit safe. Yeah, and the last point is the high efficiency. We have lower time for administrative efforts and can put these time into the business-driven analytics. The overall planning process is going faster, and I think the good level of details leads to better decisions in our planning process.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Florian, for your input and the showcase of the solution. I think it's very cool. And overall, I would say thank you very much to everyone joining. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us or to board, and we would be very happy to give you further insights on how to create better decisions with board.